Welcome back to Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth, where Ryuji's still playing with the Evoker. Please don't do that. Last time, we beat some F.O.Es and finished up more special screenings, and now, this time, we're going to be finally heading back into Act 3 of Giant Black Smudge. But first, I think I want to do a tiny bit more fusion. In fact, we're very close to being 50%... We are at 50% compendium completion now. There we go, we get 15% off summoning from the compendium, nice. Yeah, I am actually still missing Bifrons and also, like, Gamori by extension. But okay, let's see. Okay, level... Sibylle is this low level? Like, she is an ultimate persona in P5 and 3, and yet she's like... Well, I would call this mid-game, but, like, I don't know if this is exactly mid-game. Greatly raised restorative power. Okay, right. It's not anything to do with, like, circles or ailments or binds. But yeah, Gabriel's pretty low level for this one. Also a Baden. What's kind of sad is that because Personas don't have elemental affinities in this game, they had to make do with Death Counter to represent Girimakalla's physical repel. Also, they're using alternate art of Girimakalla, the one that gets used in, again, the PNG demon era of Atlas. But also, we have Lou. So, speaking of the PNG era of Atlas, Lou is very plot relevant in Devil Survivor 2, and I believe it's the same design there. Lou is from Irish mythology. I always love it when he shows up. He's very rare in the Persona sub-series. In fact, this might be the only Persona game he's in. Unfortunately, he's not that great. He just learns, like, some nuke skills and nuclear boost, but he's got a pretty awesome design. From you... Oh, right, that was the free dodge. Yeah, that's probably fine. I can go Miragion, Fire Boost, and then could go for Bufala, or I don't have a lot of things with Bless attacks. In a way, it kind of makes sense for him to have Bless attacks. He's kind of that very much, like, Holy Spear archetype. I really like this design. He should be in a modern SMT game and have unique interactions with Fionn McCool. That would be awesome. I'm still missing Genbu. Zeke would be disappointed in me. Okay, you start out with Electrike Link, which means that I can maybe pass down some more Link skills to you, like Nucleo Strike Link, and... It's the only one I'm allowed to pass. Oh, actually, hang on. Quadruple Link. Okay, I can only pass down one skill with this, but... I'd kind of like to get Quadruple Link in the pool. And then maybe I can go from Gabriel to something with Triple Link and Double Link and get all three of them. Okay, I can probably afford to buy back Yatafusa, and this will give me Double Link, Triple Link, Quadruple Link. Maybe I'll get you back. Oh, I can, by you and you, I can make a Yatafusa with Double Link, Triple Link, Quadruple Link, and maybe 2 different Link skills. Like, the issue is that Femc already has Double and Triple Link, so if I'm building specifically for her, all I need is Quadruple, Shura Tensei, and Bestial Roar, and maybe some other Link skills. But if I'm building for any physical attacker, I need more of the Link passives. Okay, Maya Huel and Yatafusa can make you. Maybe you should be just the Femc one. Because if I just give you these things in Shura Tensei... Okay, Sibylle and Seiryu into you. Unfortunately, that is merely... Oh wait, you already have Triple Link, so I just need Double, Quadruple. And then any one of these of my choice. Oh, I'd really like Elect Boost with Elect Strike, though. Or I could go Shura Tensei to go all in on Fire Link, but I think I want a little bit of a mix. I don't have Wind Link on many things. Okay, since you already have Agilao, I can make a pretty decent Elemental Suzaku, but I will need to buy back Belphegor. That looks pretty solid. Okay, Black Frost and Dis into you. That can give me Pulimpa, Poisma. I know having both Pulimpa and Tentarafu is kind of dumb, but Pulimpa has significantly higher odds of working, and sometimes you only need it on one row. I'm gonna have to buy back a lot of Personas for this too, but you could potentially be like an ultimate, support, navigator. I'll buy back Seaberly just because she's such a good fodder persona. Oh, right, I haven't actually got Fenrir yet. Kuhulin, Orthrus, and Sleipnir. Okay, maybe you can be the FemC bot. Because she'd appreciate both Shura Tensei and Bestia Raw, plus some more Link skills. Okay, finally, let us move. So, where I left off was on the 4th floor, but there's no stairs to the 4th floor right now. I have to start from floor 3. That is a problem with this labyrinth, each floor essentially being 2 floors. You can't actually, like, warp to the 4th floor until you find the very end of the floor. So shortcuts are important to get you from the start of the 3rd floor over to, like, other, like, regions of the floor faster. Hello, Mr. Lumberjack. Goodbye, Mr. Lumberjack. Okay, it's turned its back. And now we can pick up where we left off. Just by going north. So yes, once more into the realm of the theatre kids. And I went the wrong way because the other path dead ends faster. There's absolutely nothing here, except an encounter. But, yeah, I have, also, oh boy, that's a lot of things. Oh, a lot of Curse Week things. Does Naruto have Ma Curse? Maybe. Also, I am glad that I brought Akihiko here, because it turns out that, I don't really have a lot of electric skills, aside from the FemC-only Link sub-personas that I've made, so I had to bring an electric user for this. But yeah, I've actually done a whole bunch of grinding, so hopefully we will be, yes, I can, like, Fire Strike Link the Eagle. So hopefully we will be, oh, you only have single target? Ugh. Okay, right, change of plans then. Zanshinken is a high chance of crit if you don't get hit. But yeah, everyone is 42 to 43 right now. Some people learned extra skills off of that. So hopefully this is going to make encounters a lot smoother. For one, the Navigator, I don't think they said these enemies look tough. This time. I think the information I'm using right now does not have the levels of the enemies. And the enemies are kind of listed all over the place in the data mine. They're all listed based on, like, their, yeah, there's the Zanshin Strikes. That has a very high crit rate if it goes off. They're all listed, like, within, like, the rest of the shadows of their type. So, like, the Hublaries will be listed alongside the other Hublaries, the Eagle with the other Eagles, etc. Rather than, all grouped by dungeon, as I'd probably rather than be. Yeah, so you have, the multi-target light skill, but not the dark one. I don't think there was even an accessory effect, he just lucked out to survive with 1 HP there. But I'm glad it targeted the Blade of Fury in that direction rather than Akihiko, otherwise I never would have been able to get the all-out attack finisher. Even then, though, that fight wasn't too bad. Blairy Uvula. Uvula is just one of those things that people often call inherently funny words. Oh, by the way, you'll all be happy to know that, yes, I bought a bajillion Vanish Balls, 10 to be exact. Oh, this party has a severe lack of healers, wow. At least I can temporarily give somebody Seaberly. I'm gonna use Yusuke for this because, like, his SP, it's not like he's gonna need SP for much else. So, of this group, any significant skills they got? Okay, yeah, Akihiko now has both Elect Boost and Elect Amp. You now have Regenerate 2. You now have a somewhat decent Physical Ice skill, finally. I mean, it'd be a shame if the developers hated him so much they didn't even give him the highest tier of Physical Ice skill, right? They'd never hate Yusuke that much, right? Oh, boy. And then they wouldn't give Teddy the highest tier Physical Ice skills. Anyway, Mitsuru's next skill is Mind Charge, so I'm thinking of what I get rid of to make way for that. Because I'll eventually put Salome's Kiss where Scarecrow is. And Naoto has basically just more of those skills, and yeah, of course, Futaba doesn't learn anything. Yeah, it is really weird to me how the Navigator levels just only matter for the Wild level. And it's also kind of interesting how much that matters depends on your difficulty, because in, yeah, heading up will just be an advance. On I almost said merciless again. On risky mode, Joker will almost certainly be your wild level for the entire game, because there's always fortunes of the party. But on any other mode, your navigator is most likely going to be the wild level. Oh, I think this one unlocks another special screening, actually. And so, suddenly, everyone talks about food. Yeah, I mostly like ramen. The problem with me is that I'm allergic to egg, and so whenever I get ramen, I have to get no egg. And now, all of you watching along with the video are also hungry. Well, unfortunately, at that point, Junpei will be 7 years older, so, that's gonna be kind of a long time to wait. But, I mean, I'm sure Yusuke would still wait that long. Not that it'd be a wait for Yusuke, but you get the idea. It is so weird thinking about how things are going to happen when these people all meet up, because canonically the P3 and 4 cast do for Arena, but because there was never a Persona 5 Arena, we don't know if the Phantom Thieves ever met the older versions of C's and the investigation team. I like to think they did, but as to how that meeting would go down, well, that's what fanfiction is for. Still can't believe I used to just despise fanfiction so much, and now I'm just, yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, okay, some of these enemies are stronger than us. Okay, Akihiko's faster than Yusuke there. Yusuke seems to have a little bit more strength, though. Yusuke's really only asset is meant to be his speed, and yet other people can outspeed him. It's just why. It's just like he is like I'm kind of reiterating because I know I've said this before, but it's funny how he's like the one bad character in this game. It's like, if they were going to go for this build for him, they probably should have at least given him decent luck. I guess it's just like him having good luck would be out of character for Yusuke, because he is that like perpetually starving artist. It kind of makes sense for him to have a low luck stat. In fact, like, as I've mentioned before, pretty much all the Phantom Thieves have really bad luck stats, which also makes sense. They've all suffered from, like, really harsh circumstances in their lives. But, like, surely they could have made, if they were going to make his HP that low. Naruto talks about shitomeruing, which is, like, kill, things a lot. Oh, hey, Yusuke finally got another skill, and, like... Okay, honestly, I don't really care about Tsukikaja. Well, he'll be getting Master Tsukikaja soon, but, like, Yosuke does that better! It's like every asset that Yusuke has, other characters do better. I mean, that's true of a lot of people in this game, but usually everyone at least has something to offer. Okay, yep. Still Tin Man. And Koromaru wants to warn us about something. Ah, there's a narrow path. There's no way to avoid that axe. But that guy just so happens to be standing on a stage lift. So we can pull that classic theater comedy trope of somebody standing on a trapdoor and then falling down it, which I'm pretty sure, I mean, maybe if there was a like a pad to catch them, because, like, that would probably kill you in real life. Okay, so we got a stage lift there. Stage lift there. Here a stage lift, there a stage lift, everywhere a stage lift. Ah, okay, and this is actually our only recourse, because our ultimate goal is to get past that Tin Man just below us. We can't do that now. And past him is the stage lift to back to the third floor. So for now, let's, yep, no, not even an event there. But if we continue down this path, we'll eventually reach a switch. Ah, this group again. Okay, I have a slight problem here, in that I had two people go down there, and I don't have any, like, revival items or skills on this group. If worse comes to worse, I could use the Repulse Horn. Or I could swap out my battle persona for Yomi Return. In fact, like, at this rate, it's probably more efficient to, like, whenever I am at 1 on the encounter, well, count. swap out to the battle persona, like the battle navigator persona. But yeah, at this point, we need to trip the stage lifts. And you might notice, that actually put a Tin Man at the north, but we're already past him, so it's fine. I'd recommend using an F.O.E marker on them, though, just so that you know that they're there. Okay, just a treasure spot here. Probably not a good idea to take this one. Because if we do get... Okay, you know what? I am actually going to be using my repulse horn right now. Yeah, there's a complete X over that. And how long does it last for? Okay, about 50 steps. Hopefully it's enough to get me through... Yeah, you can hear that guy chopping, but yep, that's a raised stage lift. So there's no more Tin Man on this one. Because once I reach the third floor, there will be a shortcut that I can open up. And that means I'll be able to safely go back to base and not really have to redo my progress. Have something of like a little town square here. How close are we? Oh, we've still got 21 steps. Swing out this whole room, and yeah, we're already at 52% of this floor. So even the bigger floors of this labyrinth go by fairly quickly. So let us raise ourselves up. Yeah, this is another one of these, Yeah, the elevator rooms always pretty much have 2 switches, but it's not what I'm totally concerned with right now. What I am concerned with is... it's going to take a little bit, actually, but firstly we can check out this. And yeah, here's the rest of the floor. Naturally, you would expect floor 4 to basically mirror this. It's pretty much the same deal as the first 2 floors. Just marking that in. Just don't know why that little jutting out dead end is there. But if we go through here, we will soon reach a, Oh, good, that thing wore off just in time. We'll reach this shortcut, and that means we can just, come straight back here next time. So, let's bounce. We can get nice shoes now. I was just thinking, wait, leg armor isn't in this game, and then I realized, oh yeah, of course, the nice shoes are for Chie. My healers are all over-leveled, but this is the least over-leveled of them. Also, Joker just got motivated, and it is the perfect time, because not only is he behind by 1 level, but he also has Maega, which will really help against those Hoblari encounters. Yeah, we can already see the movings of a bear up there. But firstly, okay, hang on, before we do that, I want to make sure that I equip the passive navigator on Futaba. Oh, I already have it, yeah. Mostly have that to negate ambushes. So let's see. Oh, that's really nice! No ambushes and 3 rare appraisals. But yeah, now we can head forward, and be instantly greeted with another shortcut that we can't open. But there is a bear coming up soon, which is gonna let me talk about something I find interesting, at least. Oh, a gold dice, huh? It escaped from Laura Bailey's collection. It is weak to fire and nuke. Well, this group is not going to have a very good time with us, since, like, everyone here except Akihiko has, like, really good and potentially AoE fire skills. And I wanted to use the link on that one just to have the priority knockdown, otherwise it's going to try and safeguard things, and that's not going to be a fun time for anybody. Oh, that dice is gone. Laura Bailey's not getting that one back, sadly. Yeah, I actually saw, like, I mean, you'll know that I saw Laura Bailey at a convention recently because of earlier in the playthrough where I was talking about it. But, somebody, like, she had a whole bunch of stuff on, like, her chair that, like, fans had given her. And, because it was Australia, somebody here had given her a Bilby plush. To all those who don't know what Bilbies are, they are a native Australian animal. Oh, they're also marsupials. They're apparently known as rabbit bandicoots, which... I'm surprised that, there aren't any Bilbies in the Crash Bandicoot franchise. Oh, that just reminds me of, like, okay, I'm just so mad at, you know, I think it was like essentially Microsoft who bought out Activision, but like all the people who were just like, oh, you can't make a Crash Bandicoot 5 because like it's not a live service game that makes $1 billion. But like the artists for like who did the new designs for Crash Bandicoot 4, they did an entire image of like a whole ton of hypothetical new characters for the Crash Bandicoot like franchise in the art style of Crash 4. And it's so sad that most of these characters are not going to see the light of day. There's some really, really cool like ideas here. But anyway, speaking of cool and potentially uncool things, there's a bear in there, and an axeman as well. There are people with games and murder to tell. So yeah, I'm gonna get away from him, but also I'm gonna... It's always fun when they combine different FOE gimmicks. That's gonna swing next, isn't it? Yes, he is. Yeah, I am caught between a rock and a hard place right now. Both of these guys are about to strike, but I'm going to be one step ahead of them when they do. I'll take this encounter before I start discussing my next tangent. You know, I can't believe I never referenced the fact that, like, the lyrics of Life Will Change, I'm not a robot AI challenging you, is, like, incredibly fitting to the third dungeon of this game. Okay, finished that just before the bear got here. But yes, on the subject of that bear, so the woodcutter's obviously based on the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, and there's another FOE in this labyrinth that we... Is that, like, is it meant to be doing that? Actually, I feel like I might need to go bouquet here. I just realized the bear being really hyperactive and gyrating in place. Insert cocaine bear reference here. But yeah, so, yeah. Other FOEs are obvious reference to another thing, but what kind of, like, fairy tale fantasy story is that bear a reference to? I mean, bears appear in a lot of fairy tales, obviously. But I was looking at the art book descriptions of a lot of the, like, enemy designs in this game, and I noticed the name of a story that was mentioned there, alongside the Wizard of Oz and one other thing that we'll get to later. The story was mentioned was Mori no Kuma-san, which is literally the bear in the woods. Now, okay, before I say anything else, I want to say that the FOE's name in English was translated as Mr. Bear, which is kind of a literal translation of Kuma-san, its Japanese name. Now, there was a demon called Mr. Bear in Persona 1, but this enemy is not... I freaking hate the Tentara on these things, seriously. It's like, usually I only have one person who has the weakness of, like, certain enemies, and so I get really debilitated by people getting confused, and Yukiko only has bind curing. I mean, she wouldn't even be able to do anything anyway right now, because she's, confused herself. Yeah, I don't have any ailment cures either. But yeah. This FOE is not a Persona 1 reference, because the bear in Persona 1 was called Teddy Bear in Japanese. They just coincidentally happen to have the same localized name. Oh, that would have been amazing if it actually finished it. Yukiko wins without even trying. Well, I guess everyone but Joker gets the experience from that. Is there a... I don't think there is a wall next to me, so even if that bear is in pursuit mode, it's not going to actually... Yeah, I can get away from it. Let's just mark the stage lift. So, what is that Mori no Kuma-san that this bear is a reference to? It's actually a Japanese children's song that is an adaptation of an American children's song. And the American version is widely known as The Other Day I Met a Bear. You can easily find versions of that on YouTube if you look it up. I warn you that it is incredibly irritating. It's one of those like call and response songs, so it goes like, the other day, I met a bear, and it kind of repeats the whole way through. I think it's meant to teach kids like vocabulary, I guess, and grammar. The Japanese version of the song uses the exact same tune. The thing is, it must be American because I have never heard this song before growing up as an Australian. There are definitely a lot of songs like it, but I never heard any, I never even heard of this one growing up. Oh, I thought so. Okay, so turns out that we do need to hit a switch in order to progress here. There is, though, a chest if we move up here. Hey, we get this one finally! Just like the other FMC one, I really like that. Okay, yeah, thankfully that counts as all that attack, so let's go. The other reason why I think that bear song is extremely American, though, is one of the... So basically, like, the plot is insanely simple. Somebody is walking, they run into a bear, and the bear is like, hello, I'm a bear, I'm gonna eat you. And then they're like, oh, you better run away. And they're like, okay, I'll run, and they run away. And they hide in a tree, I think. Yeah, it's, again, insanely simple. But one of the lyrics that also, like, just tells me this song is insanely American is the bear says, he said to me, why don't you run? I see you ain't got any gun. Of course, the American song would be like, you need guns to arm yourself against threats, but yeah. Lucky that the damage worked out that way that I got the all-out finisher. I thought that thing had also died. Okay, now I can stop using Futaba as a navigator. But what's also interesting about that song is the Japanese version. Well, one, it doesn't have the gun lyric, which is also kind of telling. But two, in the Japanese version, it goes mostly the same, except that it turns out the bear just wanted to return, and it's a woman who's, it's definitely a woman who's running in the Japanese version. It turns out in that version that the bear just wanted to return the girl's dropped earring. So, yeah, the Japanese version of the folktale is a lot nicer. And the F.O.E. here definitely takes more after the American version of the folktale, something that, you know, chases after you very fast. And will do horrible, horrible things to you if it catches you. I don't think I want Masayo. I'm kind of locked into all the skills on this build. Immunity Buffer is very similar to Haru and Teddy's personal skills, it's just a passive that everyone can use. It's a 50% chance, though, which is pretty solid. Yeah, meanwhile, Teddy's immunity bod is only 25%. That's the, like, 70 HP restore one? This late in the game? No. Farsight, though. Okay, that's the one that does Fortune Hunter and the Hidden Passages and F.O.E. ones all in one. But, like, the better version. So, this area that I'm about to go into is extremely weird. You need to have the stage lifts down to get into it. But all it is just this little corner and a shortcut. I guess it's like so that you can get through here easier if you have like the lifts already in this configuration. Even then, it feels like a very strange place to put a shortcut. And yeah, thankfully these are both down so I can actually step on them and get their tiles. Because if these were in separate configurations, well, one, you'll be able to side set this whole puzzle, but two, I'd have to have the Switch in separate configurations just to step on everything. Make sure to fill out everything. And just through here, we have the next elevator room. And from here, we can link it up with a shortcut back to the start of the third floor. So that is basically half of these floors down. So I think now's a good time to head back, and next time we'll be covering the second half and potentially also the mini-boss, which means another song. See you all then. Oh wait, before I end things I have to mention, if you do want to look up the lyrics of the Japanese version of Mori no Kuma-san, make sure you look it up in Japanese and don't add anything else to the end of it, because there is a fairly explicit looking yaoi manga that starts with Mori no Kuma-san, and it's the first result that comes up if you type that in English. So, just be aware of that.